Here we go. Happy days. At the reflection of me, I've got computer screens everywhere. We are all going full on Tommy Robinson. He's in Israel, living the dream. But there's some people out there obviously trying to soil the name, shall we say? Obviously, we can't have Tommy Robinson doing anything good. No, they got to like come out with a load of rubbish. I've got on one of my screens that Tommy Robinson and his trip to Israel reveals a growing James Bond, between the far right and the Israeli government. Well, there you go. That's what they're coming out with. Even that report, I believe it or not, right? I'm not making this up. They put straight in, right? This is like the Guardian. I never use a Guardian, but it come up, and I thought I'm using this out of principle because they tried to soil the name of Charlie Kirk. So I was like, I'm never using Guardian again. And then this come up, and I was like, that would be the Guardian. They're literally saying that the founder of the English Defence League, that's been defunct for how long? Everyone knows Tommy left when it went all whatever. So what are they on about? It's absolutely stupid. And so he's travelled to Israel while awaiting a court verdict in the UK. The far-right activist, known for his anti-Muslim campaigns. I mean, what are they talking about? How you doing, Pat's Leather Straps? Hope you are well on this Freaky Friday. We're going to be going through some Tommy Robinson. He's been in Israel, so we've got some videos of Tommy Robinson. Well, got my headphones at the ready. But I just found this news article that just made me laugh. I mean, they're like what did I just say? The far-right activist known for his anti-Muslim campaigns. I mean, come on now. It's ridiculous. I mean, this is how they work, because they're trying to obviously soil Tommy's name. Literally, because it's just Tommy. That's it. Oh, you're all good, happy days. Yeah, I'm coming from the back end of the blooming flu or some rubbish. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I was being a real man about it. Like, oh, no, not really. But he got invited to go to Israel, which he accepted, which is good. But I was a bit weird how they got to start throwing in like, oh, English Defence League, real name Stephen Yaxley Lennon. They do it all the time. They're trying to like, oh, this just gets on my nerves basically. Oh, I did click the yes, I've got it right here on my left. All these screens, mate. I've got a screen there, and a screen here. So I'm on it. But yeah, I've got the apparently Keir Starmer is angry and he's working to reverse the decision to ban Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from the Aston Villa match. So yeah, I've got that right here because I was going to discuss that. I've never heard anything so stupid in all my life. How can you ban people? Like innocent people, that is, I might add. What, you can't be bothered to do any security, or you're actually going to think, oh, do you know what? All the Islamists that are there are going to start something, so let's not. What? Well, you need to do something about the Islamists for a start. I mean, yeah, literally. Oh, I was just about to say, yeah. I mean, he recognised, Keir Starmer recognised Palestine. I mean, it was downhill from there. And he trying to make out that because he recognised it, that helped with the peace deal. I mean, what an absolute muppet. There's some people that are retarded, but I mean, up there is Keir Starmer. The bloke's an idiot, absolute idiot. But yeah, it's literally unbelievable. I don't get it. I'm a Tottenham fan. And if you know anything about Tottenham Hotspur, do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, so what we can do, right? What I'm going to do as a Tottenham fan, I know we're in the Champions League, but we're going to play Barcelona, right? We're not going to play the game because, well, we're going to lose basically. So we're just like, oh, don't even know where I'm going with that. I'm just getting angry, but I just don't get it. I think that's more to do with Keir Starmer and like banning local elections again because he's going to lose. Like, okay, we're not playing that football game then because we're going to lose. But how can you ban people, like Jewish people? Buried in, what have Jewish people done on this planet other than good? How many Jewish terrorists? Oh no, it's Islamic terrorism, not Jewish terrorism. Islamic terrorism. So Israel basically defended themselves really well again, by the way, again. And well, basically what we're saying is now the Islamic terrorists are playing victim and crying because once again Israel has slapped them silly and destroyed their whole ideology to try and genocide the Jews, that we've now got to ban Jews safety. What? How can they not have safety in 2025? No, I think Keir Starmer's like a boil on your ass. He's just going to stay there, stubborn as hell. He hasn't done anything right by this country or the people. And I'm a bit confused how the king didn't even step in and say, hang on a minute, this has gone that bad, that quick. How you doing, beats and tapes? Living the dream. I hope you're well. But yeah, I know it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know. How can you ban fans because they're Jewish? Absolute joke. Discussions to resolve the ban of the fans of an Israeli football club attending a match against Aston Villa are happening at pace across the government. Downing Street has insisted. Keir Starmer was angered by the decision. I mean, his wife is Jewish, is she not? Was angered by the decision to bar Maccabi Tel Aviv supporters from next month's Europa League gaming in Birmingham amid public safety fears, a number 10 spokesman said. Because Birmingham has got a really high Muslim population. So basically, they're going to cower and show fear of all those Islamists and ban the Jews rather than actually go out of their way to look after the Jews and keep them safe. The PM wants to do everything in his power to ensure Jewish people feel safe in the UK. Senior government figures, including Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy, are meeting officials to discuss what more can be done to try to find a way through to resolve this, and what more can be done to allow fans to attend the game safely. I mean, what on? I don't get it. I don't get it. It's absolutely ridiculous. They got what they call an irrational fear, an irrational fear of Islam. That's Islamophobia. You can expect to hear further updates today, a Downing Street spokesman said, and I've looked and I've not seen any. But this is ridiculous. This is the sort of thing that Tommy looks at and just laughs. He probably, that is the most stupidest. Who came up with it? I won't preempt the conversations, but these are happening at pace across the government with all the relevant groups to find a way to resolve this. I mean, even on GB News, people are going, oh, we'll just cancel it or go and play it somewhere else. Like, you missed the point, mate. Literally, like, you left at the traffic lights. That's just... I mean, there's in all groups. It was a Jew that shot Yitzhak Rabin, but on average, there's so few that are like that compared to their neighbours. Yeah, I mean, the whole ideology is just... I mean, there's bad eggs in Christianity, Judaism. But then when you come to Islam with 66,000 terrorist attacks in 50 years, killing over 250,000 people, you're like, hang on a minute. There seems to be a problem here. But we're not allowed to say anything because you're Islamophobic. You're showing signs of Islamophobia. How dare you actually have a genuine knowledge of a so-called religion that's a death cult? And that's why they pick on Tommy. They don't like what he says, even though he's right. I've got a Quran behind me. I wouldn't say I would say read it, but you'd lose a few IQ points. I mean, it makes you stupid. I mean, some of the stuff in it is just ridiculous. But yeah, it's not irrational though, is it? No, it's like genuine because you understand it, you know it. It's terrible. But yeah, Business Australia, you may not know, but the Y word there, YIDDS, as you said it, or YADS, as whatever they call Tottenham, that's deemed to be a racist slur now. That's been around for a few years like that. And as a Tottenham fan and a Tottenham tattoo, I'm just like, they're literally going to make it like out to be like about religion, and like it's a football game, for crying out loud. And I don't. What is this thing? What is this fascination about banning Israel from everything? Bearing in mind they were attacked on October the 7th. Hamas started the war, but everyone go, oh, like, Eurovision Song Contest, which is absolute crap, I might add. Don't even believe. Why do people watch that rubbish? I mean, I couldn't tell you anything about it. It's rubbish. But they want to ban them from that. You want to ban Jews in our country to come and watch Maccabi Tel Aviv. Like, what is this fascination about someone being victims of war, victims of Islamic terrorism, and then you start banning them from everything? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It makes no sense. Let me have a brew and calm down. But it's terrible. No, I think it's even funny. It's dangerous and terrifying. Yep, that's Islam. YT just blocked 3 of my comments, which yep, that's because that thingy comment probably. Yeah, look at the Westboro Baptist Church. Those people are so unbelievably misguided. It's actually sad, because a lot of them aren't bad people, just extremely misguided in their faith. Yeah, and I find that with when I talk to Muslims, I actually come out, like I say in every blooming stream, Sahir al-Bukhari, 5134, 6 years old, mate. And they look at me like that, what? And like they've been a Muslim all their life and they never knew that, because they're imams, they're sheikhs, they keep that silent. They don't tell them. And it's just like us, you know, you don't know all of the Bible probably, do you know what I mean? Or whatever it is. So it's just like not knowing, basically, you know, a misunderstanding. But oof, I'm on something. I'm doing. What's that? Being a Tottenham fan? Tottenham, give me the Spurs. Yeah, they were their Jewish roots and that. Also, I don't think that, you know. But I mean, it's going to ruin football if you're going to start doing all that and bringing all that into it. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the 70s and 80s, football hooliganism was absolute rife. I mean, good old punch ups and all that, but then, you know, you pick a bloke up off the floor and you'll go down the pub and this and that. But not now. No, it's all about, like, you're literally trying to stab people, kill people. And now because they're Jewish, you're like, no, we have to ban them. You're literally banning people. I don't understand how they're thinking. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But yeah, it's so I don't know which mouse. I've got too many. I've got 2 mice, one to my laptop and one to my actual PC, and I'm too many screens. I want to break free. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Angus, in 1966. Where did I get to? It comes after British Israeli former hostages of Hamas joined the chorus of condemnation over a decision to bar supporters. Yep, a former hostage, believe it or not. Culture and Sport Minister Ian Murray said it was the wrong decision. It was actually the decision was made by Birmingham's Safety Advisory Group, the body responsible for issuing safety certificates for every match at Villa Park. So it's them that's done it. Come on, geez. That's crazy. But Ian Murray, the Culture and Sport Department Minister, said it's just completely and utterly unacceptable. And the Prime Minister has said he will do everything we possibly can to resolve issues. The Police and Crime Commission, the West Midlands, Simon Foster, has urged an immediate review of the controversial decision. Because I did see they were actually saying that, like to ban the chief of police or something for actually allowing it, but yeah, 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 that's basically it. Oh, are you indeed? I pressed the wrong button there. Every time I go and press it, someone else does something. I miss that's the one I wanted. Although I've done with football for years now, football's done. You're a gooner, yeah, yeah. My sister liked Arsenal, and then she ended up supporting Portsmouth. But good old Kiss, yeah. But it has been, yeah. AC/DC does over Kiss, yeah. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy, my friends. What do you think? I don't think they got grounds to actually stop it because it just sounds like lies, basically, and rubbish. Emily Damari, who was held captive by Hamas for more than a year before being released in January, and who supports football teams Maccabi Tel Aviv and Tottenham Hotspur, whoa, said the decision was outrageous. I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, wow. I've heard it all in my life, but being banned from a football match because you're Jewish because of safety, absolutely rubbish. But I know Birmingham's over 20%, is it Muslim? So, but just because we understand anything about Muslims, like like Tommy Robinson, it doesn't mean that we're racist. We just know, and we're not like they try to say, anti-Muslim campaigns. No, anti-Islam campaigns. It's about the religion. It's horrible. It's just a big no-no. But just having a look at the chat there, make sure I don't miss anything. Emily Damari said, I am shocked to my core with this outrageous decision to ban me, my family, and my friends from attending an Aston Villa game in the UK. I'm not being funny, but Aston Villa are poo. Why would you want to watch them? No, but I mean, seriously, if you want to go and watch a sort of European match, do you know what I mean? Then why can't you? Safety. Are you for real? Are you for real? Safety. Football is a way of bringing people together, irrespective of their faith, colour, or religion, and this disgusting decision does the exact opposite. Exactly. I mean, the whole idea of football is it's football. It's not about anything else. It's about football. Who's your team? Who's your team? Do you know what I mean? So, she carried on. Emily said, shame on you. I hope you come to your senses and reconsider. I wonder what exactly has become of the UK society. This is like putting a big sign on the outside of a stadium saying, no Jews allowed. What has become of the UK where blatant anti-Semitism has become the norm? What a sad world we live in because of Keir Starmer. He actually decided, as I said, to recognise Palestine. And he had the audacity to say that helped the peace process. I'm like, no, that's all down to Donald Trump, mate. You were the half the problem because Hamas was saying this is like our rewards for October the 7th. People are now recognising us. I mean, are they that stupid? Reading FC, Liverpool FC. Yeah. Oh, hey up, we've got Electra Doc in the house. How you doing, my friend? Good couple of moderators going on. I kind of think this Ayub Khan's way of making British Jews dimmy. Yeah, dimmies. Yeah, gotta be dimmies. Mac Ballsack. LFC, 41 years now. LFC, Liverpool had some history. I used to love the olden days, like Liverpool, Everton, and it's like 2-2, the last minute there's a winner and all that. Neville Southall in goal. I remember all those days. Bruce Grubber, I remember all those days. But I liked him as well. He's a good goalkeeper. As a goalkeeper myself. It's to stop the thing that happened in Amsterdam. It's a nightmare. Yeah, that's what they're thinking about. You know, being with the United Kingdom, you think you could actually do things to prevent things, and it's just a football match for crying out loud. I mean, to look at it that much, it is social exclusion, won't work. The Jews stick together. Yeah, damn right they should and all. It's absolute. Oh, come on, guys. We all know man poo. Best team ever. Come on. They've had their moment. It all died with Alex Ferguson. Sorry, lads. Oh, Ray Clements. Yes, Tottenham goalkeeper. Yeah, I liked him. One of my heroes. One of my heroes. But yeah, what a keeper that was. Booted the ball and scored a goal. Have it. Yeah. Pat's leather straps. I agree. Yep. Shut up, Beats, about blooming man poo. Man shitty and man poo. Brucey bonus. Brucey Lucy. But it's even straight away you can see, like, in the chat, you have a giggle over football. Do you know what I mean? I don't get it. Foosball is the devil. No, the Red Devils. That's man poo. But it brings people together. It really does. I don't get it. I mean, wow. I don't know what to really say. I mean, Ayub Khan, who you mentioned, the pro-Gaza independent MP for Birmingham Perry Bar, welcomed the decision. Oh, I wonder why. The move was condemned by Jewish political leaders and was branded a national disgrace by Tory leader Kemi Badenoch and a shameful decision by Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar. But Ayub Khan, the pro-Gaza independent MP for Birmingham Perry Bar, welcomed the decision. Oh, I wonder why. Because it's all about ethnic cleansing and genociding the Jews. Of course it is. And now he's got his little thing here. He's going to get his foot in and go, oh, yeah, that's why you should not allow and you should ban anyone who follows Islam into politics, because they're going to force it into a Christian country. And that's not good. That's why I think Shabana Mahmood should not be where she is, unless she wants to denounce Islam and accept, say, Christianity or just no religion. But you can't be going around like forcing like Islamic ideology in a Christian country just because you're at some point like an MP or a councillor or something. Ayub Khan said, from the moment that the match was announced, it was clear that there was latent safety risks that even our capable security and police authorities would not be able to fully manage. What? Because Islamists are that far out of control, all the Muslims in Birmingham are going to be going absolute batty. Are you for real? This man, Ayub Khan, is talking absolute nuts. But yes, he was. He was. Ray Clements was also at Liverpool, yes, and Tottenham, yep. Whiz with that cross, you look like an Orthodox priest. I was looking like Jesus. I'm not really Jesus. I'm not a false prophet. But yeah, it's funny what you do once you've had a heart attack and died for over 3 minutes, isn't it? You're like, hang on, there's more to life here. Oh, Aguero, yeah, what a player he was. Aguero! Every time he got the ball, it was boo! Mark Prowler, I stopped borrowing a football decades ago, to be honest. I don't follow it as much as I do now. I follow, I like a bit of rugby, and I like American football. Washington Commanders. But, you know, it just started to feel like a government-approved sporting event to take your mind off what they were doing. Yeah, I mean, I've got a feeling that's why we got everything we've got in the world of entertainment. It's all about, you know, you go into that, I know, theatres or movies, football, it keeps you sidetracked in order not to sort of stand up in any shape or form to your government so that while they slide everything through. So it's all about, you know, look at this hand, you're having a load of fun, we're doing that, we're doing that, we're doing that. That's what it's like. They've got yeah. Yeah. I know the phrase, like keep it in the family, but crying out loud, mate, they really they took it just too far. In it. It's not my first cousin, it's my second cousin. Anyway, Khan, so with so much hostility and uncertainty around the match, it was only right to take drastic measures. I bet Ayub Khan just happens to be following Islam, and they got a photo of the hostage, and she's got "Come on, you Spurs" flag. But yeah, but it's been high risk, classified as high risk on current intelligence and previous incidents involving the violent clashes and hate crime offences that occurred during the 2024 UEFA League match between Ajax and Maccabi Tel Aviv in Amsterdam. But I mean, any excuse to blame the Jews, isn't it? It's oh. But anyway, even though, did I? No, it's not the same. I read that one already. It was a different one, isn't it? Even though I feel like most sporting events are just government-approved distractions. Yeah, like that. That's what I was getting at. Support local team with government-approved. Do not pay attention to what government is doing. Exactly. Yeah, they had a thing on before. I used to watch it like Match of the Day, but back in the 70s or something, and they used to replay it. I used to love watching all that. That's back when you like go to head the ball and it's like a concrete block, isn't it? Hippie Jesus, yeah. Got to go fix the washing machine in a bit. Oh, that put you in a spin. Lived through the 80s, good football back then. Yep. Yeah, I was born in 76. So, yeah, rugby league, school sports when I moved to Australia, age 16. Yeah, rugby league. We got rugby union and Johnship. Absolutely. You see the thing about immigrants needing to understand A-level English to work in the UK in 2026? Yes. Surprised they haven't called that up and go, oh, that's racist. That's racist, mate. How dare you? That's racist. Aussie called it soccer, aka girls' ball. Real change of scene. Yeah, I know. Soccer. So same as America, isn't it? Soccer. Because they got American football. So take a look at some of the English questions. They are primary school level, not even a secondary school. Oh, so not going to be, it's supposed to be A level. The Jews are much safer than the English. They know better. Yes, they do. But did you know, one thing I found out, right? Even the Muslim population in Israel is higher than the Muslim population in the UK. Because in the UK, believe it or not, you may well know, it's around 6%. Islam, the second largest religion, with around 5.97, so 6% of the population identifying as Muslim. So, and that's 47% is Christian. Now we go to Israel. 73.6% is Jewish, 1.9% Christian, 18.1% Muslim. Now, I've got a feeling that Israel are going to have to be careful there with the amount of, 18%, that's high. There's 2 billion worldwide. That's a lot of stupid people thinking that a prophet can marry a 6-year-old. And the prophet can walk around covered in, semen. And he can fly on a donkey. But nonetheless, that's crazy figures. 18%, and we've only got 6%. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. But it's weird. I think they're trying to make out like it's strange. I don't get why they're trying to say like Israel reveals a growing bond between the far right and the Israeli government. the far right, and that there's putting like I said earlier, don't I? Anti-Muslim and far right activist Tommy Robinson. You're like, I don't get it. I don't. What are they getting at? I mean, it's stupid. But Tommy Robinson is in Israel, and we'll go through some videos of Tommy Robinson in Israel. I was going to watch them, and I thought, no, I need to watch them with you live. Otherwise, I've already seen them all. So I don't know what level I am at English. Common as muck English. 1970, yeah. Football, I take it we're on there. But, I don't know, you might do. I definitely would. I've done it at school, that was it. These questions are actually A-level. There's no wonder that more kids pass A-level these days and still seem semi-retarded. Yes, it's all sort of, but yeah. Islam is a global majority. There's 2 billion of them. 2 billion. I mean, we need to educate them like sooner rather than later because it's going to be a problem. I mean, if you got religious texts that call like for beheading and this, that, and everything else, and wipe out the Jews and then the Christians, literally like genocide. So the whole world will be Islam, and then they can bring in Sharia law, and you get your arm chopped off just for stealing or something, and you get stoned to death for having an affair and all that. I mean, how it's like going back to 700 BC. It'd be the worst thing this planet could ever do, and it's the worst thing this planet has got on it is Islam. It's pure and utter barbaric. There's no way you could ever convince me that Islam is a religion. It's pure and utter satanic evil. Evil. They're getting their shoes from over there. I've still got it. Yes, but the population of Israel is 1.5 million. No, it's not. It's not Macball. I've got that here as well. The actual population is 10.1 million. So it depends where you look. Some say like 9.8. But let's see, because they got Druze that live there as well, haven't they? Because they reckon it's going to be as high as 11.5 million by 2035. In 2023, it was 9.7. In 2025, 10.1. Oh, the one that here says also like population for 2025 is 9.5. So let's say it's 9.5, 10 million. I'd say between 9.5 and 10 million, 18% are Muslim. Dangerous. A global majority claiming minority rights. Well said. DI exams are the best for getting citizens. Tommy's just done a bit about Tel Aviv Villa football game. Yeah, we'll probably get onto that. He's got a few there that I mean, I'll go through like the shorter ones. I've got it already. Oh, wrong mouse. Look, it's all good to go. Look, there's his channel. Make sure you'll go subscribe. It is Tommy Robinson Online, his YouTube channel. If you wish to go support him and follow, keep in mind it's a little thing only if you want to work in the UK, so everyone else will be unable to speak or understand it. Yeah, I mean, I used to do sales, knocking doors, and we used to get Muslims answer the door, and they're just looking straight through me. I'm talking. They're like, I was like, yeah, you don't know what I'm saying. Okay, bye. So there was a lot of that. Tommy will be in Sydney soon. They used to have Druids before the Romans wiped them out. Yeah, they got Druze in Druze. in Israel. I got the Times video from Israel. It's only 1.5 million. I might have got it wrong. Yeah, it's definitely saying 9 million. 9.756. Well, 9,756,600. A 2.08% increase from 2022, and that was in 2023. But I mean, I would guesstimate between 9.5 to 10. But only 1.9% Christian. So would he say that, like, there's about 1.5 million Christians there? Would that be possible? Is that what? No, because 10% would be that, wouldn't it? Or 18.1? Would that be around the 2 million mark for the population of Islam? The population that follows Islam or is Muslim. I'm not too sure. We might get it on one of his videos. We'll go through the video, and I think it's to do with Jews and Muslim population. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. But I mean, 1.9% Christian, 18.1% Muslim. 20% say would be 2 million out of 10. So that'd be the Muslim population. But then the Christians, that'll work out only about 200,000 to 300,000, wouldn't it? So I don't know, man. Yes, possible. Yeah, possible. Or you might be right. But I don't know what Tommy said. But we will say, I've got my headphones all good to go. What we'll do is watch some of his videos. We'll go through the shorter ones because he's got quite a few. Obviously, I don't want to go through all his videos because there is. I want you to go and support him and watch them. But the shorter ones we'll go through. We'll watch this and then I'll click back. You'll see his channel and everything. And then happy days. But I mean, because I think he's got some videos there like the last about half an hour. But obviously, go and watch his channel for that. And it'll be Christian. I was about to say be Christian because I was reading that. That'd be Christian. Show him some support. But you know, Christians left in the Middle East. No, I mean, it's all about ethnic cleansing when it comes to Islam. But you're not allowed to say that because they're victims of ethnic cleansing, apparently. So, yeah, I think we can't be far off that. Let's we're 46.5% Christian. But what is UK population? UK population. Oh, would you say 65 million? The projected population of the United Kingdom in 2025 is approximately 68.5 million. This projection takes into account various factors such as life expectancy and migration trends. So that's basically a projected population. So yeah, you're not far out there at all. Population in 2023 was 68.6 million. So how can that say 68.5? Some of these figures we get. The United Kingdom 2025 population is estimated at 69.5 million mid-year. The United Kingdom population is the equivalent to 0.84% of the total world population. Well, there's a lot of us, put it that way. I mean, they're saying 68 million. It's probably about 680 million, including all the illegal immigrants. So, yeah, ish. Yeah, you're not far out, Mac. You're not far out at all there. So you're probably about right. They plan on outbreeding you, and they do. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. I mean, you wouldn't believe the numbers leaving Islam, but as soon as they have a kid, straight away, oh no, this is another Muslim. 4 wife and 16 kids per man. Yep, basically. I mean, they'd destroy us, Angus, wouldn't they? in the numbers. Considering we are letting in close to 1 million each year, not counting people breeding, 65 million is a conservative estimate. Yeah, that's why I read like projected population. But worldometer.info, world population, the worldometer estimates the UK population in 2025 to be 69.5 based on UN data, a medium fertility variant. But they throw things in, so they're all sort of speculating, aren't they? But yeah, but I'd say what you said, Mac, between 65 and 70. That's not, can't be that far out then, can we? Does that mean it's risen 3 million the last 2 years? Well, the one that said here, population as of 1st of July, it says 2020, 67.3, 2021, 67.6, 2022, 68.1, 2023, 68.6. So that's a gain of 1.3 million from 2020 to 2023. So then the next 2 years, yeah, you're probably about right there as well. Very scary. GDP, yeah, you're probably about right, mate. You can't be far out. But anyway, right. Tommy Robinson. Oh, Tommy. This is where he visits the Dizengoff Square Memorial. This is obviously, I believe, to do with the October the 7th. This is one of the best things he done. The video's not that long, but we can stop it. I'll keep an eye on the comments and that, and we'll whatever. Let me know that you can hear it or whatever, and happy days. But this is like one of the best things he done when he got there, was to go and see the October the 7th memorial. So
these are the victims of October 7th, when an invading army come in, massacred, raped and pillaged their way through innocent communities. A music festival.
Can you hear it?
And they didn't just murder them on the spot. As we know, they took hundreds of them back to tunnels. When you think about it, like, people have just been released just 2 days ago. They spent nearly 700 days in total solitary underground in tunnels. And whilst all that was going on, I don't remember hearing much from our politicians or government about releasing the hostages. That's all that should have been the cry for, because the war would have stopped a year ago, 2 years ago, if they just released the hostages. But the call wasn't for them to release the hostages. All the people on the streets of the UK every single week wasn't about releasing the hostages. It was never about releasing the hostages. If they really wanted the war to stop, that's all they should have been crying for and screaming for and working for, but they weren't. Keir Starmer wasn't, Macron wasn't. They were just working to appease the group who orchestrated and planned this. That's what they were doing. That's what they ended up doing just in the last couple of months, recognising a Palestinian state where this state that they've recognised operate a function of pay to slay. Our taxpayers' money, the government that we just recognised, who run the Palestinian state.
That pay to slay, it's like pay per slay. Literally, if you can then have proof to your government that you've killed a Jew, they will pay you financially. So you can literally kill Jews for financial gain, believe it or not.
Pay people to kill Israelis. If you kill an Israeli in a terrorist attack, if you go and kill an Israeli, you get money for the rest of your life, for your family, for the rest of your life. That's the government that has just been recognised by the British state. It's insane. It's like, would you have given ISIS a state during their conflict in Syria? Would you have recognised ISIS state and give them legitimacy? Why would you recognise this state? Governed by terrorists and jihadists. But it's just weak and cowardly leadership by the West. Unfortunately, it's what we have all become accustomed to see, is that our leaders, rather than tackle and confront jihad, they bend to it. They bend to everything. So yeah, unfortunately, this isn't just soldiers. This was innocent families, women, children. They raped, they murdered. And it wasn't just Jews they'd done it to either. Yeah? There was some Thai workers, there was different nationalities that were non-Jewish. They all got obliterated, they all got raped, they all got murdered. It wasn't just Jews, yeah? So this whole conflict that people go on about, it's like what you think Hamas's only target. Hamas on October 8th come out and said that our goal isn't Israel, our goal is London and New York. This is a jihadist organisation, a jihadist mindset governing the entire Palestinian state. Recognise a caliphate, world domination. It's not just about Israel. And I've always said that, you see, if they obliterated this beautiful beacon of democracy in the Middle East, if this was gone, you think they're stopping there? You think that's their target? They're coming straight through. The security issues that this nation faces, i.e. everything. Do you know, I come here in 2016 and I looked at all the bollards to prevent cars ramming up on the side of the street when I was here in 2016, and I looked and said, we're going to need this. We're going to need all of this. Yeah. And fast forward on, you can't have a Christmas market, can't have a festival, can't have anything without these bollards. So what this country and these people have to face is what we're going to face in Europe. Because the growing threat of jihad, the growing threat of extremism, the growing threat of Islam, which dominates and surrounds this nation, is going to surround us. And it's already starting to. The only difference is they have a government who have gone through successive battles. They tried to appease. Do you know, last time I was here, I met a Jewish girl who had her family, and they were based in Gaza the whole of their generation after generation after generation. The IDF dragged them out of their home because they made a deal with Hamas that all the Jews would be removed from Gaza and that would bring about peace. It's never going to bring about peace. You can't negotiate with these people. Yeah? You can't negotiate with them because they don't want peace. They want rid of every Jew. They want world domination. They want an attack on all of us as non-Muslims. So it's the Jews today, it's us tomorrow. First comes Saturday, that's their saying. First comes Saturday, then comes Sunday. And when you hear jihadis talk about that, that's the Jews, because their Sabbath is on a Saturday, and then it's the Christians who's on Sunday.
There you go. That's the one where he went there. And then
I was blessed.
The next one, he's training with Israel's elite counter-terrorism. But I did see Suntos Blow, yes, Surah 9, verse 28, 29, 30. Yeah, I saw that, so I brought it up to give you an idea. Verse 28, O you who have believed, indeed the polytheists are unclean, so let them not approach the sacred mosque after this year, and if you fear privation, Allah will enrich you from his bounty. Indeed, Allah is knowing and wise. 29, fight those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not forbid what Allah and his messenger have forbidden, and who do not adopt the religion of truth from those who are given the scripture. Fight until they give the jizya willingly while they are humbled. The jizya is a tax. You basically pay that or you die. You have to convert, pay a tax called the jizya, or you're dead. And verse 30, the Jews say, Ezra is the son of Allah. And the Christians say, the Messiah is the son of Allah. That is their statement from their mouths. They imitate the saying of those who disbelieved before. May Allah destroy them. How are they deluded? Well, the Jews have never, ever said Ezra is the son of Allah. Never. So that's actually the Quran being incorrect. So there you have it. So yes, Suntos Blow, yeah. Tommy Ronson in like him, yeah. Thanks for that, Nathan. Oh, here we go. It gets a little high each year. It's about, what's that, 860,000 in 23, 948,000 in 24, and it's currently around in 22.5, the year not yet over. What's that figure for, mate? Israel Chai. Oh, happy days. Tommy can't live in England anymore. Let that sink in. Yeah. Makes you wonder, like some of my videos, what I've been saying. You're like, There's a birth rates are higher than in Europe, even under a so-called genocide. Yeah. If people say to you, like, there's a genocide, tell them this. Because I know there's over 800,000 population in Gaza, but the population of Palestine is 5.5 million. Between 40 to 60,000 innocent people have been killed, sadly, during this war since October the 7th that Hamas and the Palestinians started. So a population of 5.5 million, over 5.5 million, 40 to 60,000 have been killed. Where's the genocide? So, yeah. I think it's been debanked almost everywhere now. Yep, that's why he had the money on him when he got, like he's in court now, isn't he? Being a terrorist, apparently, because he didn't give a PIN number and let him into his phone. But Rabbi Cabana kills in Southport and stabs kids, but he's not a terrorist. But Tommy wouldn't let him have access to his phone because he had vulnerable females, details, etc. on there who were victims of RAPE and whatnot. But he got classed. But yeah, he had about just over £13,000 and just over €1,500, I believe, from raising money, etc. So he had to take that over, and obviously, you know, borrowed a Bentley, and it was Tommy Robinson. So they had no grounds for bringing him over, and this, that, and everything else. So Nathan Charles, you okay? Yeah, well, I'm okay. Are you okay, Nathan? I hope you are, my friend. I hope you are. I say the same as Tommy just said. Tommy's on the ball. He knows what he's talking about. And the fact that people are attacking him the way they are, you know he's right. It's as simple as that. But imagine you talk facts, you get debanked, you can't live in your own country, and you're like, all I've done is talk facts. So people like him, me, not as much, but I understand Islam, the Quran, the Hadiths. I know enough to like hang on. And I hope some of you do out there, obviously. But to be debanked and like decountryed, yet he's still fighting, as you can see in the top left, UTK, Unite the Kingdom. He's still, even though he can't live a peaceful life and he's getting attacked by media left, right, and centre, he's still going on about United the Kingdom. So that's how much it means to him. Infidels next. Right on, Tommy. Yep. Jesus lived without banking. Did okay. yeah. Suppose he did. Yep. Kufa. That memorial reminded me of 9/11. Yeah, it's like that, isn't it, Mac? I mean, it brings it home how real these things are. Yep, you got to pay your jizz. Nice one, Angus. They pray on Friday, start on a Saturday, Jewish, and continue on Sunday, Christian, and the rest of the week is the rest of the infidels. Yep, and that's why in the Quran it clearly states to kill the Saturday people and then the Sunday people, i.e. the Jewish and then the Christians. So, but DK Ezra, yep. It's a bit of a boo-boo in the Quran, isn't it? It's a bit of a boo-boo, but you know, it's words from God. It's, you know, apparently it's it doesn't fail at anything. It's just 100% pure. Ezra, son of Ezra. Desire. Yeah, that's it. Jews don't think Ezra's the son of God. Exactly, Pat. Exactly. They're doing a Roy Chubby Brown. Ezra? Who the F is Ezra? Oh, that's exactly it. You're all on the book. See, you all know. You probably, some of you know more than me. I mean, that's why, like, even just then, you know, if you put anything up like Surah this or Hadith, whatever, then I'll bring it up on one of my screens and I'll have a look, because it's all education. We got to teach each other. We need to learn. Stand against Islam. Stand with Tommy Robinson. But they're trying to make out Tommy Robinson is a thug and those who follow him are thugs. I mean, hang on a minute. Do I look like a thug? I told you I'm trying to look like Jesus. What more do you want? Or Gandalf, the wizard, hence the wizard's words. But you know what I'm getting at. Hey, Tommy's Rebel News journalist, Ezra Levant. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Ezra Levant. Yeah, he's the one. He was thrown out of court. Or they tried to throw him out of court. They were grabbing him, saying, like, you can't be in the press bit, and he had to go into the public bit. I mean, how bad is that? How bad is that? Direct result of British trained monster terrorist Ayatollah Khomeini in 1979 in Iran. Wow, you know your stuff, Ira. You know more than me on that one. Fair play to you. Storms the gates like sup, bruh. The figure was immigration in the UK for the last three. Oh, the immigration figures. Blimey heck. 800,000. Was that what it was? Wow. There you go, Mark. You've educated me as well. Everyone's educating me today. I'm trying to educate you guys. But I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. No issue being wrong. As long as we can all get the facts, happy days. Knowledge is power. But yeah. Hard to say, sadly, when you see how they tried to lynch the hostages when they originally were dragged into Gaza. Yep. It's horrible. I mean, hell on earth. Even that doesn't explain it, but I mean, it's not an understatement, is it? To be fair, dinkum, most Brit Aussies now know F all about the Middle East. Yeah. I knew sort of bits and bobs, but, you know, because we're with Tony Blair or whatnot. But I know a lot more now because of October the 7th, because, you know, it's not about picking sides. It's about just having knowledge that's factual. So you know that should it ever come up in conversation, you know where you're coming from. And I mean, if someone spoke to me about something I don't know, I'll be like, I don't know. But even that, I can't just listen to that person tell me and take their word for it. I need to go and look it up because people are just full of it. And you know, in Islam, in times of war and in whatever it takes to further the religion, you can have taqiyya, which is lying. So I don't believe anyone until I've looked it up. And then I'm like, good, they were giving me sound information. Next time I talk to them, I will listen to what they're saying. I'll still look it up, but I will listen intently thinking this person does speak the truth. Like David Wood, an apostate prophet. I love Tommy. Angus is in love with the Tommy. We're all Tommy. Just remember that. Yep. I think he had to say, didn't he? Say Tommy Robinson is the movement and Stephen Yaxley Lennon is the person. And I thought, yes, well said. I like that. I really did. So fair play to Tommy. And Tommy Robinson is a movement, but obviously we're all getting labelled this, that, far right and racist, Islamophobia, and or as Islamophobic, I should say. In the past, people could just say Tommy was racist or a liar, and any other accusation they wanted. But even a little bit of research proves he was right on stuff like grooming gangs. Exactly. He done it like 10 years ago in Oxford when he done that speech. Literally put people right in their place by talking facts, and they didn't like it. So they're saying, right, he's a racist. He read and understands the Quran. So how is he racist? Israel is a window into the future. Yep. Not a coincidence that the 7th of October 2022 fell on a Saturday. Yes, go figure. They are following the Quran by the word. They know exactly what they're doing. But I mean, you're not allowed to say that, Santos. You're going to be charged with being Islamophobic. We can't have that. You can't be talking facts. How dare ye? But we'll play this video 2 secs, so they can't pretend he was wrong about everything anymore. No, they can't. I mean, it's well and truly shut him up or shut them up because he speaks the truth. This is only 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, but this is where he's training with Israel's elite counter-terror unit. I mean, rather than me, I wouldn't be allowed to, not with my 4 stents that I've now had.
I was blessed this morning to have the opportunity to train with a special elite
blessed unit to train
from Duv Devan. They're a elite unit within the Israeli army. And yeah, they put me through my paces. I enjoyed it. I'm very grateful to them. I run today with 2 real heroes. Do you know, in their unit, on October 7th, they were the first on the scene. They lost 4 men. They said in October, they were still battling on October 8th and 9th. And whilst they were losing men, you had people in the West calling for a ceasefire and talking about a genocide. 1,000 Israelis have been butchered, slaughtered. The Israeli army are battling terrorists and jihadists. They haven't started any war. They're fighting to survive. And people in the West, how insulting is that for them? But I heard some amazing stories of courage, of true heroes, and it puts it into perspective when you think about what these men are going through. I met a young British lad who I trained with this morning, who's just finished 3 years of service fighting for this elite unit. So, and as we're running along the beach, this is the insanity of it. The leader of a commander group, the leader of the commando group, who lost 100 men, run past and stopped and talked to us. He lost 100 men in this fight against jihad. When you think about the sacrifice and the loss of life and the effect it has on every person here, and then you see the way it was treated in the West, it's an absolute insult. Then you think about Keir Starmer. Think about this man who lost 100 men. You think about this other unit who lost 4 of their brothers, fighting against these jihadists. And then you think about Keir Starmer, and you think about the Labour Party, and you think about them recognising and rewarding these jihadists with a Palestinian terrorist state. It's an absolute insult, but I was blessed this morning. I was blessed because it gave me a reset. I haven't trained really for a month, and you just need that break. And I always talk about how important physical exercise is. I feel already better this morning just from that training, so I'm very grateful to the lads from Doof Devan. And I said, now that you've released those terrorists, because remember, lots of jihadists have just been released back home, murderers and butchers of children. One man who was released killed 7 Israelis. So these units need to go back and get them again. So cheers.
So I mean, like, he says stuff, and you've really got to let it sink in. I mean, blimey, it's absolutely, it's nuts. He's got a video there. It's like 20 minutes long. You go on to Tommy Robinson online on YouTube. You can watch that one, but we won't go through like 20 minutes worth. But that's the hidden illegal migration crisis. But
Well, actually, my name is The Shadow. I'm a rapper, an Israeli rapper, and a right-wing activist.
Is that rare? Because there's no right-wing rappers in the UK.
In Israel, there's a right-wing rappers all the way, not apologetic, kicking it straight to the face, and nobody could shut us down. That's it. I got like 2 million followers in Israel. 2 million followers. It's like 200 million in the UK.
Yeah. Because how many people are in Israel?
10 million, 1.5 million Arabs.
So you've got 20%.
There you go. But he just guesstimated. That's what we were saying earlier, wasn't it? Mac, wasn't it? I think we're saying guesstimating. So he's guesstimating around 10 million as well. So I think between us, we got there.
And 20% followers.
More.
Okay.
More. Do the math.
Again. I'm going to have to watch your rap. When's your next rap? When your next rap?
I came back from a show, so not in the next, in the close week.
None in the next week?
It's a bit rusty, but I'm going to work it out with you.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. So what do you see as the problems in Israel?
You want problem or problems?
What's the main problem to Israel?
Well, right now, you're in core of a new just road. It used to be only workers who come to Israel, but right now you got crews over here. You got gangs who became very... they saw a lot of American movies and gangster rap. They want to be gangster rap in Israel. They came here, they got crews, they got like the Crips and the Bloods, they got it right here. They're robbing old ladies.
Where are they from?
What
country are they from?
Sudan, Eritrea and Sudan.
So you're
They're all underage, by the way.
They're all young
Nobody
children.
can touch them.
No, so then you've seen gangs of miners. It would have been good to meet some of these gangs of miners.
You have no idea what's going on here. You have no idea. Nobody can. The courts, the Supreme Court, they're guarding them. Nobody let them touch them. Nobody can do anything to this.
I think people from outside of Israel, in the West and in the UK and in Europe, would be surprised to hear that gangs of migrants are running amok in the state of Israel unchallenged.
And it's became big. It used to be very small. It's became so big. It's going out of Tel Aviv, and you got like Muslim gangs who's controlling the drugs in Israel. Now they're working for them.
Sounds familiar, no?
So it's not just us then. Wow, that's absolutely nuts. That's but anyway, right, we've got
Minister, how do you feel
we'll get this one ready, but I'll quickly catch up on the old messages. But that's nuts. Muslim gangs doing the drug dealing. Once countries start with digital ID and digital currency being debanked, will be close to a death sentence. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, I'm glad you see that as well, Mark. I mean, can you imagine, like, because you say something, oh, we saw your tweet, so you can't now look into your bank. What? That's the way it's going. That is the way it's going. I really believe a digital ID and digital currency aren't all that far off. That's the problem. I mean, it's scary. You look like an Orthodox priest. Is an Orthodox priest a good thing or what? But I don't know. Is that good? Is that good, Geese? Orthodox priest. I'll have to look it up. And like, is Orthodox priest good? Orthodox. That'd be a rap name. Orthodox. Oh, Wiz is all right. He's all right. Yeah. And it's like people call me Gandalf, right? And then like, did I tell you about the story? Right, I was walking back from Tesco's, and a bloke leaned out of his car, and he goes, "I thought you were crucified." Literally shouted it out, so everyone's sort of looking at me. He's like, "I thought you were crucified." And being that I'm quick, I've turned around and said, "You should have kept reading. I got reincarnated." What a response, mate. I was walking home all chuffed. Oh, I didn't read that one, did I? Brother Wendo saw him being dragged out because the BBC grassed him up to the judge. Really? What, on the court case? Because he said he went into the toilet and popped his head in. He actually got because the BBC was oh, sorry, yes, you're talking about Ezra. Sorry, yeah, Brother Wendell saw him being dragged out. Yes, he did. Yes, because he went in for the toilet, popped his head in, and saw it, and it was the BBC, who kept grassing him up and kept saying, "That's the BBC for you." How pathetic! They're literally trying to control the narrative. That's what that's all about. But yeah, you're right, Mac. Yeah, sorry, it took me a while to twig what you meant there. Always look up from the last at least 3 sources because people can be wrong. Not me though. I'm always right. I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. But yeah, I always look stuff up and I read it. Like even then, like trying to get the figures for Bloomin' Israel. Looked at 3 different places. You've got 9.5, 9.8, 10.1. Like whoa. So, but yes, Mark, that's good advice. Get free. It's like when you need a builder or something, you got to get at least 3 quotes. You don't just get one. Robert Spence and Jay Smith are awesome, super eloquent, and just reading from the Islamic sources. Yes, but I think Jay Smith did get called out on something that he was wrong about, but hopefully he's man enough to admit that. But Robert Spence, yeah, I like both of them, to be fair. I'm with you on that. Santos, for the European women who support Palestine, they should... Surah 4, verse 34. Oh, you got me on it today. Surah 4, verse 34. Let's have a look. What are you throwing this way, Santos? In English, the Sahar International Translation states, men are in charge of women by right of what Allah has given one over the other and what they spend for maintenance from their wealth. So righteous women are devoutly obedient, guarding in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. But those wives from whom you fear arrogance, first advise them, then if they persist, forsake them in bed, and finally strike them. But if they obey you, once more, seek no means against them. Indeed, Allah is ever exalted and grand. That's the one, literally. Advise them, forsake them in bed, and then basically beat them. There you go. There's one for Islam. Surah 4, verse 34. I've got to try and read that name. Really? Hey guys, how you doing? So I just call you Bud for short. Victor Baden Badenker. I can't read. That's terrible. So, yes, with 1.5 million Arabs. Yep. But there are also Muslims in the Knesset. Not sure if you can call that rap. Rap with a C. Hello, guys. How you doing? I can't actually read that name. My bad. So, if you could tell me what your name is, so every time I see that, hope you are well. I can't read Hebrew. Best replies 3 days ago. 434. Oh, is that Surah 434? Oh yeah, that's what I thought you were going to throw another one at me. I was like, no, that's what I've just done. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. So what about beating your wife? You are correct. You are on it. Business Australia. Greetings, Shin Lamed. Greetings, Shin Lamed. There are many educational videos on YT about beating your wife the Muslim way, the right way. Nobody takes those vids down. I know, it's terrible. I mean, what? It's crazy. But if Tommy actually exposes it, he's racist, Islamophobic, far right, fug. But these educational videos, I'm trying to read the Hebrew, She Agadol. Maybe wrong. I have no idea, D. I have no idea. I'll give you that one. But this is a video where about Keir Starmer. Israeli minister exposes Keir Starmer's weakness. So I'll watch this and then I'll jump back in the chatteroony. So get your comments in there. Whatever.
Minister, how do you feel as a minister in Israel? How do you feel about the Labour government's how they've dealt with the extremism and the support for Hamas in Britain?
The weakest government since Chamberlain, and maybe even worse, despite the fact that the Chamberlain's delusional vision of the reality, peace in our time. Maybe Chamberlain is worse than Keir Starmer, but it is the same mechanism of thinking that you can appease the monster and maybe buy some time and buy some quiet. And this strategy is driven by the same fear that the terrorist wants to put in your hearts. The Nazis were terrorists themselves, and they terrorized entire Europe, who were afraid to fight. And luckily we had Winston Churchill, who stood almost alone to fight against the Nazis. And we salute Churchill and we admire Churchill here in Israel. And I personally admire Churchill. He's one of the greatest leaders in all times. What we are seeing here is quite the same. I think that the strategy of Keir Starmer is driven by fear. He is afraid. He is afraid of the Islamists in Britain. He is afraid from states like maybe Turkey or Qatar. And I think that it is very important to understand this is not about Hamas and Israel. This is about the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a huge global movement. A movement that started after World War I, led by Hassan al-Banna, with a vision to have a huge...
Just so you know, Muslim Brotherhood, they have been linked to financially supporting Greta Thunberg.
Huge caliphate led by the Islam to renew the days of Muhammad, to conquer not just all of the Middle East, okay, not just Israel, but also to conquer Andalus in Spain, obviously, and also to conquer Britain and to have the Sharia law implemented all across Europe. It was Sheikh Qaradawi as the most important leader. I think every citizen in Britain must understand what is the Muslim Brotherhood. Who is Sheikh Yusuf Qaradawi? What's the role of Qatar? Okay, what's the role of Turkey, of Erdogan in the game, in all this chess? Because this is a global war against a super radical and super sophisticated ideology that its end goal is to make sure Islam is dominant and people are submitted to Sharia law losing their liberties, losing their way of life. This is a very, very big fight against political Islam, radical Islam. And I think that, unfortunately, people, they don't read, they don't know who is Hassan al-Banna, they don't know who is Said Qutb, they don't know who is Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi. I'm not sure that even Keir Starmer knows who these people are and what is the ideology. And Hamas is part of this movement. It's not a local movement. Hamas is a part of a global movement. Same movement of Ahmad Ashara, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Qatar, Erdogan's party, etc.
Well, the Muslim Brotherhood are prescribed in many Arab nations. They're prescribed as a terrorist group.
In the UAE,
in the UAE, they're a terrorist organisation.
I think, don't hold me to it, I might have to look it up, but Muslim Brotherhood in the UK are actually registered as a charity.
The Muslim Brotherhood don't hide their goals for a world caliphate. They're quite open about their intentions for America, for Britain. Why do you think, when you have a terrorist organisation like that, that's very open about their end objectives and their goals, which is Islamic supremacy and the overthrow of democratic rule, when they're so open about it, why do you think a government like Great Britain's fail to acknowledge, address, or even tackle this group?
They want to prevent the fight. They want to buy time.
Who wants to buy time?
The governments. And I think, when we need to be very honest here, Israel did the same mistake.
I was just about to say
the same mistake.
If you look at Israel's history, Israel tried to appease for many years.
It's true. It's true.
But you now have a government who understands you can't appease.
Absolutely. That is the lesson of October 7th. You cannot prevent the fight against this radical ideology.
Do you think Britain will have to experience its own October 7th before maybe our governments wake up to realise that these terror organisations must be stopped?
I hope not. I hope not. I very hope, Mamash. I really hope you shouldn't. But in order to make sure it will never happen, you need all others to address this challenge, and you need to be far, far more decisive, far, far more aggressive, and to understand that most likely it won't go smooth and it won't go quietly. But if you won't do it, I'm not sure there's going to be Britain.
Do you feel betrayed by Britain?
Not really. I think it's coming from weakness and not from a point of betrayal.
I hope you understand that Keir Starmer's government don't represent the majority of the British public.
Yeah, I understand it very well. I see the polls. I'm very happy with the polls, actually. And I'm very happy with your work. And I see it also as a conservative leaders. I think it's very important for conservative leaders worldwide. If it's Vox in Spain, if it's Bardella in France, if it's Reform UK or ground movement of streets with millions of people out there who supports your leadership, that is, I think, something which is super, super important to work together and because we are in the same battle.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, sign of weakness. Literally weakness. But we've got this. This is first-hand account. Paratroopers first-hand account. I thought, oh, yep, definitely. I bet that's very interesting. Where did we get to? They accuse Tommy of beating women, yet they beat their women. Well, the thing is, in Islam, it does say, like, to accuse those of doing what you're doing. So, you know, which seems blooming obvious, because the propaganda from October the 7th, absolutely ridiculous. Isn't his weakness Ukrainian dancing, lads? Starmer, yeah. That sort of got all hushed up, didn't it? Our Prime Minister in Australia is a big Mardi Gras guy. Is he indeed? Bit of Mardi Gras. That's part of his diverse strength. Nice one, Mark. Oh, DK got giggles. So inspirational indeed. To understand the Aussie Prime Minister, check out Danger Dan when Wiz finishes. There you go. Danger Dan reviews. Oh. Parents who are pro-Palestine should read the Quran. There we go. Surah 65 verse 4. Oh, you want me to look that up, don't you? I know you do. Let's have a look at this. I've got a feeling that I think I've got. Is this the menstruation one? And those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And also for those who have not menstruated. And for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him his matter ease. It's a bit worrying about those who have not yet menstruated. That's a part of it, isn't it? That's the bit, yeah, makes you think. Steve Edwards, welcome. I sent email to Daisy Cooper. I was to apologise for remarks about our Tommy. Yeah, she's weird. She ain't got a clue. She really hasn't got a clue. So I agree with you, Steve. Yeah, it's definitely worth an email, but she won't apologise. She's trying to stick with all her cronies. I'm stealing that Mardi Gras line. Yeah, it's a good one though, wasn't it? That was funny. But all right, we've got this one. I'm going to be listening here, but wait a minute. What did he say? Mini hijab. Oh, Momo. We haven't seen much of Mohammed Hijab or Ali Dawa lately. Wonder why. But let me. I'm going to blank out myself here. I've got to go and get myself a fresh brew. But I've got my headphones on so I can listen to this. But this is a good one. I want to. I don't know it's a good one, but I'm assuming it is because it's about the paratroopers' first-hand account on October the 7th. So happy days. Let's get into that. I'm going to make me brew and listen, and then I'll go through the chat.
Mr. Chitty.
Shalom, how are you?
Shalom. I'm very grateful.
Haba.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for the invite, sir.
We're happy to have you with us.
I'm honoured to be here.
The Memorial Day is today, and you are now about to meet commanders who were fighting here in Sderot on October the 7th. You're going to see Gaza Strip, you're going to see Beit Hanun, one of the neighborhoods that was one of the strongholds of Hamas in a very strategic location. And we are very happy to have you with us. Thank you for coming. We don't take it for granted. Heavy incidents and fighting from the beach, the base of Zikim, the Tiva Asara, the city of Sderot, the junctions, main junctions surrounding Sderot, and obviously more south, and you will be there, the Nova Festival, Be'eri, farther to the south. Now what you're seeing right here is the northern part of Gaza Strip, and you can see how close it is. This is nothing. Okay, you can just 5 minutes walk and you are already in Gaza. It's very, very close to Sderot.
They get out, the government want to go to peace and told to all the settlement that we need to get out, and the families with the grandfather and the children and the schools and synagogue, we get out from Gush Katif and pray for
Gush
peace.
Katif is the name of all the villages together.
All this around.
So just to understand that, because when I was here last time in 2015-16, I met a Jewish girl whose family for generations had been living there, and then part of a peace agreement between the Israeli government with the Palestinian state, or the Hamas, was that there would be peace if all the Jews left Gaza. So Jews were forcefully removed from Gaza. So when they talk about ethnic cleansing, or you hear all these different things, the Jews were forcibly moved out themselves by their own government in order to bring peace, which they've obviously established doesn't bring peace now.
To be accurate, there wasn't a peace agreement, it was a withdrawal that the government believed it will make the condition better, more security, etc., etc. There was a huge debate, obviously, and many people, including myself, we thought this is a very bad idea, wrong message to withdraw. This is a wrong message for Hamas. Obviously, Muhammad Def, one of the commanders of Hamas, says, okay, we managed to destroy Netzarim, we managed to destroy Gush Katif, and the next will be Sderot, the next will be Tel Aviv, as it happened on October 7th.
So I spent since October 7th. I live in Kiryat Gat, which is about...
How old are you?
I am 32.
Okay, yeah.
I live in Kiryat Gat, which is about 20-minute drive that way. And on October 7, obviously, we're also, missiles were falling, rockets were falling. The next day, we all already were ready to go into Gaza and fight. My unit, we were called up. Again, this is not, I had my mandatory service at age 18 until 21. I was a commander and officer. I finished my service, and then I lived my life. I married, I have kids, I work for the minister in the government.
Okay.
October 7, the whole country
has to go back to war.
Put on their uniform, go to the reserves, and we all drafted back to the army. So I was called up, I'm in the unit for the paratroopers. It's called 646. And we were called up after about a month and a half of waiting, because we didn't know if we were going to go get sent to Lebanon or to Gaza. We were sent to Gaza City, to the center of Gaza. We spent about, I'll abbreviate, but within 2 years of the war, now we're finishing 2 years, I spent 1 full year fighting. So 360 days in the army now, the past 2 years. And
physically fighting every day?
Physically, most of the time I was in Gaza, from the middle part of Gaza, which is Mechanot Merkaz, Nuseirat, El Borej, until Bet Hanun, until the end here. And I will say that this last time that we went in, we finished a month ago, my last service.
Just finished.
I just came back to the office, to my regular life.
So you've gone from a paratrooper fighting on the front line
Exactly.
to straight back into
to the front line of anti-Semitism, fighting anti-Semitism in the world, which is the same fight. It's one battle.
Okay.
But we have this is one front we have to fight, and we have obviously jihadis like you're fighting also in the UK. At the end of the day, we were here in Bet Hanun. And when we moved from Sajaiya, which is a city a little south, up to, which is part of Gaza City up north, in Sajaiya, I had 2 of my soldiers were injured. One almost was killed, the other lost his eyesight. We moved after about a month up to Bet Hanun. And Bet Hanun, I was sure when I come to the city, it's almost destroyed already, because it's 2 years into the war. And this city is literally the closest city in Gaza Strip to an Israeli city. You have a lot of cities in Gaza that are close to kibbutzim, small communities. This is an Israeli city. 40,000 Israelis live in Sderot. So I thought this to be we see the whole thing is still standing. Hundreds of buildings are standing. We're getting shot at. And we have terrorists coming out of tunnels. We're in weekly and daily. Every time we go on an offensive to destroy a tunnel, we get attacked. We get if it's shooting, if it's
and that was still up until a month ago.
It's right on Arabic. You see Yachini. You see here Sderot.
Okay, so they had all their targets pre-planned.
Exactly. This is the order only of Sderot. And
when you think about it, there's an innocent city sleeping, an innocent city here, and you've got what we now know as thousands and thousands of armed jihadists, a total planned attack from literally there. Mm-hmm. When you look at how close it is, you're talking about Luton. I'll just think of my hometown, Luton. It's another estate. That's not far. That's not far to know that jihadists, whose article, when you think about it, the article on the manifesto of the elected government of that city, just there that we can see, says the final day of judgment does not come till every Jew is dead. You're not talking about a war that's a million miles away. You're talking about your neighbours who are beyond that field there. And that's what they witnessed on October 7th, was an entire army coming in to a totally unprepared community who are sitting living their life.
We have seen
do you know the numbers of how many come?
5,000.
There was 5,000.
5,000. Yes, and also you have the instructions coming from Sinewar. There is the document in the right-handing of Sinewar himself saying
Who's Sinewar?
Sinewar is the head of Hamas. Okay, the head of Hamas in Gaza.
Where's he based? Is he based in Qatar?
A year ago exactly. A year ago exactly. He was killed in Rafah by the IDF soldiers, and he was the head of Hamas in Gaza. Now, Sinewar wrote to his people, I want the kibbutzim to be burned. He wrote them, I want everything to be broadcast. In order, we want to have fear in their heart, put fear in their heart.
Strike fear into the heart of the disbeliever. Yeah. It's a verse within the Quran.
That is a very deep principle of terrorism, of jihadist terrorism, to terrorize the people, to frighten them, and to do it with all these camera, GoPro, etc. That was main part of what happened on October 7th. And when you look at what happened in World War II, and there's a big difference, yeah? But the Nazis, they were ashamed, they wanted to hide their crimes. Here, they wanted to broadcast their crimes live to all the world. And that's a significant point.
Word. Wow. See, it's not till you get people like Tommy who go there actually dive into it like that, and we actually get the truth, and you really get the real picture. This is Tommy Robinson. This Saturday, he's doing his thing in Israel, but this is the video where he breaks down after watching unseen footage from October the 7th. So this is when it probably hits home even more than it has, especially if someone like Tommy's fully aware of everything. I mean, Tommy's not stupid; he knows exactly what's going on. But to film it, and like they said, like GoPros, videos, this, that, everything else, it's all evidence. We can scare the world with this. I mean, it's just barbaric. But follow on from the Mohammed hijab and that, yeah, they can't go out in public without being trolled. I bet they've been ruined. Thanks to like David Wood, Apostate Prophet, God Logic. I mean, it's just ruined them, literally ruined them. But yeah, this is Tommy Robinson breaks down after watching unseen footage from October the 7th.
You don't hate them enough. We don't hate them enough. I don't think that anyone understands what the mindset is of Hamas, who Hamas are.
Check out Urban Scoop.
Now, the tunnels that were found under, is it Shifra Hospital, which is in Gaza. So remember, we always see on the news, and all the accusations are that Israel's bombing hospitals or bombing schools. Hamas, the video I've just watched of Hamas butchering their way through and massacring innocent civilians, and the joy they're getting whilst doing it, those same Hamas fighters are stationed under the hospital. Yeah. So when Israel goes to war to get their people back, or to fight this evil jihadi group, then they station themselves under the hospitals. And many of the doctors and many of the survivors and many of the hostages were brought into those hospitals. So many of the doctors are part of the Hamas. When we hear the figures of how many people have died, it's from Hamas. So to understand how they have to fight this war, that's on their border, that's next door. Yeah, that's next door. And the video I've just watched, which I think everyone should have to watch that video, anyone waving a pro-Palestinian flag, anyone on a demonstration in London, any politician supporting them, anyone that was calling for a ceasefire should have had to watch that video of what this community and what this country and their people had to go through, and actually witness what they went through. Yeah, and everyone should have had to seen that. And the sickest thing is the joy in the people doing it, the joy in celebration, and the calls to Allah whilst they're doing every single second of it. So yeah, now I'm going to see the tunnels, because the tunnels is a big problem. It's a massive problem, because you're not fighting an army that put on a uniform. Fighting a guerrilla army who base themselves inside civilians, inside schools, underground, and that's how they behave. Yeah. So how do you fight them? How do you fight them? And we hear so much. You hear all the accusations of genocide and genocide. More people are killed in Yemen. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about it. So how many people have been killed in Nigeria now in jihad? This is the same enemy. It's the same enemy that's done this to Israel. It's the same enemy that's doing it in Nigeria. It's the same enemy across the world. Yeah. How do they fight that war? So I mean, this is a major point. The tunnels are a major point. So there's an army underground in tunnels under a civilian population. How do you fight them? It's an entire underground network of tunnels. And I guess this is the first time the Israeli military have got access to understand what's happening. And this is the tunnels. This is the reason why they couldn't find many of the hostages, because they're in underground networks like this. It's a walkthrough. Yeah, you're seeing the soldiers walk with the cameras. They're getting to the end now. Look, and there's just so many different directions. Where's this going up into a little hole? And then now there's a little set of stairs in the tunnel underground. There's water running down, so there's water leaking, but there's like a makeshift staircase where they're now going up the levels. Look, and now it's lit up. Look at the scale of these tunnels. They're like a little rat's nest full of little Hamas rats. And now this tunnel's coming up into, where is this? We've come out of the tunnel, that's into probably the hospital. Wow. It's just so it shows you the sheer scale and the size of the underground networks. And what people need to realise is when you're seeing a hospital was bombed, Hamas's headquarters is underneath the bloody hospital. How are you going to take them out? Their headquarters is underneath the hospital. They purposely put their weapons and fire their rockets from schools. They purposely do it. But they're willing to sacrifice the school and the kids and the hospital. They don't care. They actually want those targets to be hit. So then their activists or their propaganda units from Iran and Qatar, all over, not even Iran and Qatar, the BBC, act as the propaganda wing for them by pumping the stories across the world. Hospital has been hit. Yeah, why don't you say that Hamas is underneath the hospital?
Remember, this is all because of like the Quran and Islamic ideology. I mean, the pure evil of Islam, it's literally here laid out for you. This is their whole hide behind people, hide behind kids, literally use human shields, these tunnels they built, that they spent all this money on the tunnels because they literally neglect the Palestinian people, yet the Palestinian people would still vote Hamas in again because they cheered on October the 7th, because they're literally been brainwashed by the evil satanic Islam, which is like the biggest con in religious history.
Or Hamas's headquarters is in the hospital, or Hamas's doctors, and when they took some of the hostages from Israel, they were in those same hospitals.
Here's something funny for you. This is how deluded people are. Like, how do you work that out when you've got Islam, Hamas, Palestinians trying to genocide the Jews, and now they want to say that the Jewish movement wants to genocide the world? How do you work that out? Bearing in mind that you're talking, like I said earlier, 5.5 million people, over 5.5 million people, the population of Palestine. 40 to 60,000 unfortunately died during the war that Hamas and Palestine started. So if you went the highest, 60,000, what, out of over 5.5 million? That's not a genocide. You got idiots like this make silly little comments because they haven't got a clue, because Islam is the problem. Islam literally calls to have Jews and then the Christians obliterated from this planet, to genocide them. They want to ethnically cleanse. Look at the East. The East is what it is today because of what? Islam. Genociding, ethnically cleansing as it went all through the East. Islamic states don't seem to work, do they? Everyone rebels. Living under Sharia law, it's just awful. It's got to be the worst thing on this planet. This planet does not need anything like Islam at all. The whole ideology is satanic. All they do is go round working out how they kill Jews and then the Christians, because that's what the Quran says. It's absolutely disgraceful. Yes, Daniel, that's a good face. The shock horror of how stupid these people really are. And then the chances are that, you know, when you get comments like that, it's from a Muslim, because they haven't got a clue. They are that deluded. I mean, the only reason you got 2 billion Muslims is because they don't know half of it. They haven't got a clue. But you'd think, like, anything to do with Islamic terrorism, you would turn your back on Islam, because the clue's there: Islamic terrorism, because of Islam. Well, you wouldn't want anything to do with that. But no, they're complicit by staying a Muslim.
But yeah, I think you're just seeing the sheer scale, and you have to understand how does Israel fight that enemy? How do you fight that enemy? And reverse the roles. I always like to reverse the roles and think of Scotland. Scotland elect a government. They're on our border. They elect a government that says the final day of judgment does not come until every English person is dead. They then continually fire rockets into England. What would we be saying? Then the government's army come across the border, massacre in the video that I've just watched, rape, massacre children, kidnap children, bring them back, and then they base themselves underneath the main hospital in Glasgow. What are you going to do? You're going to blow up the hospital in Glasgow. You're going to go for them. Yeah. You're going to. If you watch that video, I don't think there should be a ceasefire after watching that video. I know you've got their people back, but sod the ceasefire. Every single person, every single one of them jihadists needs going. When you watch that video and the celebration of it, but yeah, I just think that I think that people need to understand the war that's happening and understand how do they fight that war? How are they meant to fight that war? And then understand the casualties that have come from the Israeli army from going in trying to rescue their people. And then understand that whilst all that's going on, the British state just recognised the state of Palestine. They just rewarded. What did those men going in who were screaming Allah Akbar, who were cutting people's heads off, want? They want the state of Palestine. You've just rewarded the jihadists with a state who still have a pay-to-slay policy funded by our taxpayers' money in Britain. It's an insult. It's an insult to every person you saw murdered in that video that I just watched. It's an insult. We only saw 10% of the murders, 10% of the bodies in the video you just watched, 10%. So there's 90% you're not seeing. But yeah, I just think I think that people need to understand how Hamas fight and that they're willing to fight, and they actually purposely fight like this. They purposely actually want the hospitals targeted. They want it all. So yeah, because
it literally helps. That's why the hospitals help, because they say, oh look, Israel, they're attacking the hospital. Oh, innocent people. Hamas know what they're doing. It's all part of the propaganda and the bull, the BS.
You see two young boys, little children. Their father is killed in front of them. They're then crying. They're hurt from shrapnel. They're crying their eyes out. They're on their floor wishing they were dead. And then you see, yeah. You don't hate them enough. We don't hate them enough. I don't think that anyone understands what the mindset is of Hamas, who Hamas are. And that must, it's only an incredibly frustrating thing if you watch that and you understand that they're celebrated in our capital city. And whilst they're celebrated, the police didn't enforce any law against them celebrating. Prescribed terrorist organisations were continually celebrated every single Saturday for a year after that. The next week, in fact, in the first 48 hours, they were out marching in celebration across the West. And you have to see, so those two young boys, their dad's killed in front of them. The mum then turns up. She's trying to get them. And then it's horrible, man. They go into the kitchen, yeah, they're hurt, and the jihad is just standing there, sipping a bottle of Coke. The kid's on the floor, and then the little boy's trying to help the other boy. The other boy's lost his eyesight in one eye, and their little brother's trying to help, the big brother's trying to help him. Yeah. I just don't think that when you hear, when we hear, or you see the news, or you see the media, you see the portrayal given. You need to watch those videos, and you need to understand what the people living here in these civilian areas face, because the people just over that fence in the neighborhood next door, which is what you can see how close it is, there's no big fortified separation. There's just a little fence, and there's a mile. Yeah, and then you understand how those people think. You know the Blackland Theatre, you know Nice, you know the Manchester Arena bombing, you know all the attacks on Westminster Bridge. Do you know all the Al Qaeda attacks? All of these are the same mindset, but there's an entire army. An army. We've got handfuls of these successful terror attacks. There's an army, or there was an army. Thankfully, many of them have been killed, but there was an entire army stationed on that border, that wished to come into this country and rape and pillage their way through if they were successful. And they were successful on October 7th. But yeah, I think everyone should have to watch that film.
Yeah, I think there comes a time you think to yourself, yeah, you should. Like, if something's going to be that hard hitting, then yes, they should make people watch it and then see who they support, and then see all the rubbish that comes out of their mouths. But there's one more video that we'll watch, and that bit, which is this one. But I'll just go through the comments in 2 seconds. Just get this ready, like so, and then we'll. Right, how do you deal with people? This is from Dania. How do you deal with people like the Hamas group if they are hidden deep underground, under hospital and civilian buildings? Exactly. That's why they were bombing like they do, using certain bombs that will actually get down and in. But the only way is, like, you tell everyone in the hospitals and whatever building it may be, just get out. But Hamas was stopping them. Israel were telling them phone calls, text messages, leaflet drops, any which way they could to say, look, we're going to be coming into this area, you need to get out. So obviously they're looking to get out, and Hamas like, nope, you're staying. So the video October is an eye-opener to what Israel is dealing with. Yep, and I think people should be told to watch it. But even Greta Thunberg, they were saying, look, for her to watch it, but she refused because it won't fit her narrative, will it? So she'd be like, oh no, it's all made up. She's that stupid. The world doesn't need Greta Thunberg talking rubbish. So, I mean, they need to stop financing her, and that's it. She might disappear. That'll be happy days. But yeah, people need to see it. And then, let's see how quick they are to be pro-Palestine after, they actually voted them in. It's called the Doctrine of Distinction. There you go. Pat's never on it. Look, we're not talking about Thailand. We're talking about Israel and Islam and how evil it is. For 1400 years, we had Islam, then the internet. Digital DTV, yes. The internet is probably going to be an absolutely superb tool to destroy Islam, because Islam, I mean, blimey, it's a good way of spreading the word. I mean, because we wouldn't have seen people like God Logic, Jay Smith that we said earlier, Robert Spence, David Wood, Apostate Prophet, all those people, Sam Shamoon, got all of them people out there. You wouldn't know them. And Christian Prince, they're all out there, all doing what they do, literally just destroying and ripping Islam apart for the fake religion that it is. Literally nothing adds up in any shape or form, and then they are just literally destroying it, taking it down brick by brick. So yeah, I think the internet is exactly what the world needed in order to help combat Islam. Abuse civilian infrastructure for a military purpose. It means that civilian structures become a legitimate military target. Yes, it does. That's why it's not allowed. It's Hamas committing war crimes. Yeah. Hamas was saying all this, that, and everything else, but obviously, yeah, if you do anything like that, it does become a legitimate military target. But like I say, like Israel will literally phone in and text messages and sending brochure leaflets out, like, trying to literally help as many innocent people as possible to get out. But Hamas, like, no, you'll stay in the hospital. Like, they're going to bomb it. Yeah, that's good because it's going to help with our propaganda. Look, like killing innocent people in hospitals. How dare they? Even though they're literally right underneath it with all the hostages, etc. So yeah, it's terrible. Jude Shalom and good afternoon from Brighton, England. Oh, Brighton, just down the road. I say down the road. I'm on the south coast. I'm in Portsmouth, but Brighton, very nice. We need God to come down and fix the world. Yeah, you think, there's any time that you want to come back, Jesus, then maybe now would be about the time. Hamas only took the part about the end of days won't come until the Jews hide behind rocks and trees, because it doesn't need to be in the charter. It's part of Islam, so it doesn't need to be said. Yep, there's a Jew hiding behind me. Come kill him. I mean, do you really think a rock could say that? No. Indeed. If I were an Israeli citizen, I swear I would tear up my passport. Well, because you're an idiot. Because I can't be proud of a country that's killing children aged 1 to 4 in Gaza. Oh, so it's all right for Hamas and Israel. I mean, Hamas and Islam. So Hamas are using kids as actual shields. They're going around, even as we speak now, Hamas are in the streets putting bullets in people's heads. But it's all right for Hamas and Islam because you're doing it in the name of Islam. So that's all right, is it? But Israel, at no point, has gone round and done anything in any shape or form to give the idea that they are proud of killing children aged 1 to 4. You're an absolute retard, mate. You're talking out of your backside. You're the sort of person that condones having a prophet that marries a 6-year-old and forces himself, i.e. R-A-P-E, literally rapes her when she's 9. That's your ideology, isn't it? But that's normal to you. But obviously, at times of war, like now, what do you Islamists do? Lie. That's all Muslims know, how to lie. And if I was an Israeli citizen, for what they've done once again, in order to fight back, I'd be proud to be an Israeli because they have done superb. They minimized innocent people's deaths. Unprecedented in phone calls, text messages, brochures that I keep saying. They got it all out there, or leaflets rather than brochures. They got it all out there, literally everything. And you're like, oh, there's a genocide. What? Because 40 to 60,000 people have been killed, unfortunately, out of over 5.5 million. Are you for real? You're a retard. There's no other word for it. You are retarded. You absolutely talk crap. If I were you, and I was putting putting posts up, and they were coming up on screen like this, I'll be changing my username because you look an absolute tit. What a stupid thing to say. No point was Israel ever been proud of killing anyone, let alone children. So stop talking out your backside. Stop trying to defend Islam and the prophet that was a warlord who had slaves. And was who's a slave owner? A prophet from God? Sex slaves. Walked around covered in semen, and Aisha had to scrape it off his clothes because he was homosexual. And that's your prophet. And he liked kids marrying 6-year-olds. I mean, could it get any worse? And now all you can do to try and defend the sham of Islam is write messages like this. Wow. If I was you, I'd be changing my name, mate. I wouldn't be, I'd be embarrassed to be you. I'd be ripping up my passport if I was you. Absolutely disgraceful. What an absolute melon. He's talking out of his backside. So it's true, there are still retards within Islam, because we've got one right here, right now. Don't tell me the sun sets in muddy water. Semen comes from the ribs. I mean, how pathetic are these people? But yeah, absolute lies. This is complete and utter lies, fabrication, takia. You should say, if I were a Palestinian citizen, even though Palestine doesn't exist, nor should it ever, you say, if I was Palestinian, I would be embarrassed and I'll be running to the nearest country to claim asylum and live there and pretend I was never anything to do with Palestine after voting in Hamas and cheering on October the 7th. Is anyone protesting China's treatment of the Uyghurs yet? No. Because the Jews aren't involved. Your prophet would marry those children. Yeah, probably would. 1 to 4 years old. Get him. Yeah, I'm not sitting here taking rubbish from that. Nikki Steads, hello, folks. Welcome back. I remember you from last time. None of which they were required by law to do. Hello, Pats. Hello. Another Hamas amnesiac. Yep. This is pathetic. I mean, it's hilarious when these people come up and they come up here and go and chat and try and not only defend a paedophile, but try and defend the actions of Hamas and the Palestinians. It's hilarious. And that's why Jews are always says to life. I mean, can you imagine being part of Islam where you're an actual slave to God? And God's like, I don't want slaves. Oh no, but I'm a slave to God. God's like, are you stupid? Why would God want slaves? So that like puts the cat among the pigeons for Muslims, doesn't it? They're slaves to God, and God doesn't want slaves. He wants nothing to do with slavery. It's hilarious. But you know, being a Muslim, you welcome death more than life. You get the ultimate gift of life, but you welcome death. Okay, I'm a little bit thick. That's all I had to say about that. I hope you like my impression. This is the last video of Tommy Robinson, so well, let's get this going. And this one is the Israeli government slams Keir Starmer and Labour banning Jews from the Maccabi Tel Aviv versus Aston Villa.
This is a small case that is just the beginning for a far more problematic era in Britain, in which England won't be a democracy anymore. It won't be an open space for every civilization.
Minister Chickley, there's been some developing news yesterday coming out of the UK that Tel Aviv's football supporters are banned from coming to the Aston Villa game in the city of Birmingham. And I believe this has been led by a Muslim MP called Mr. Khan. What's your opinion of this as a government minister from Israel?
So
I just saw that. I know. Elzut. Suntos is on at El Zut. That's David Wood, isn't it? Yeah, the irony. Yet here we are, slaves to the government. Yeah, but not slaves to God. So that's a good thing. But new vid from Tommy just released The True Horror of October the 7th. Oh, has he got a new video? This, as far as I know, this is. Oh yeah, so he has. They literally loaded it up. Oh, I got this one from 3 hours ago. Oh right, we can have a look at that in a minute.
Small case that is just the beginning for a far more problematic era in Britain, in which England won't be a democracy anymore. It won't be an open space for every civilization.
Minister Chickley, there's been some developing news yesterday coming out of the UK that Tel Aviv's football supporters are banned from coming to the Aston Villa game in the city of Birmingham. And I believe this has been driven and led by a Muslim MP called Mr. Khan. What's your opinion of this as a government minister from Israel?
So first, it's very troubling to see what's going on in the UK regarding with the Jews, the terror attack in Manchester, and now the racist decision to ban Jews from attending a soccer match in Birmingham. And actually, I'm not very surprised. And also, we know that Birmingham specifically is dominated by Muslim politicians. And when you look fast forward, what is the future for Britain? Birmingham is the case, and this match of Maccabi and Aston Villa for what's coming in the future. And if that is the future of Great Britain, of England, it means that it is far, far more than just Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, and it is far, far more than just the Jewish community. We're speaking about the basic liberties in England, about freedom. And when we're speaking about Sharia law, and when we're speaking about racism, that's exactly what it is. And I think that this is a small case that is just the beginning for a far more problematic era in Britain, in which England won't be a democracy anymore. It won't be an open space for every civilization to come, to play, to do sport, etc. And so it's, I think it's a very bad. And the worst thing is you have members of parliament who are encouraging this racist decision. And these guys, they don't hide their support for Hamas and all these jihadist organizations. And they are very clear with their motives. Their motives is a racist. I would even say, you can say, Islamo-Nazi ideology that is taking racist Nazi ideology with radical Islam, and we have it since the days of the Mufti. It's not something new. This is the core ideology of Hamas, and these Islamo-Nazis are now in a position of powers. And maybe it's a very tough term, yeah, Islamo-Nazi.
Not really.
But that is the true nature of this ideology. Racist ideology, like the Nazis against the Jews, with an intention to annihilate the Jews, and also a radical Islam religious point of view. That's Islamo-Nazism, and Islamo-Nazism today in Britain is super popular, unfortunately.
And can we just make it very clear, the reason why they've said the fans can't attend is because the city would not be safe for them?
Yeah, that's
rubbish.
That's a ridiculous claim that we just want. That's the sophistication of Islamo-Nazism today, saying, oh no, we do it because of peace. We want to keep everything quiet, so let's just ban the Jews that they couldn't come and couldn't meet in the match. They couldn't enter the city, and that's how we can resolve anything. And I think that's like the more sophisticated approach of these people today. They know the game. They take the rule of the democracy. They take the language of modern Western civilization, and they weaponize the Western set of values and language to promote their ideology. You can see it perfectly with Kerry in the US, and what's happening in Michigan, Dearborn, Michigan, or Birmingham, and Dearborn and in the US and Birmingham in the UK is the picture of the future if we do not act now to save Western civilization.
Do you ever think because there'd be a city where they'd say Muslims can't come, because basically they're saying Jews can't come to Birmingham because they won't be safe.
Islamophobic.
It's 2025. Could you imagine the uproar if we reverse the roles? Because I haven't seen much uproar.
There would be absolute riots. How dare you do that? Islamophobia. Islamophobic. Oh, you wait. It would 100% be different.
I haven't seen a very strong response from our government
Blame the
leaders.
victim.
Have you heard anything from Keir Starmer on this?
Yeah, he said that he think it's a wrong decision. Actually, he's the prime minister, so you an actual thing and make sure the match can go on and Jewish fans can join and play and come and enjoy sport. And unfortunately, Keir Starmer, and we've talked about it yesterday, is extremely weak. And this weakness is an extreme danger for the liberties of not just the Jews, for random UK citizens who love their country and love their state, and they are not free anymore, because if you can have a soccer match and host anyone you like, from Israel or for any other place,
Because
it's
you
not
can't,
a free country.
because you can't control the violent reaction. And if you need the military to police the violent reaction of the Islamic community, then bring the military in and host a football game.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
That's exactly it. I think they said that on GB News last night, didn't they? Like, just bring the military in if you can't do it. I mean, what more do you... It's crazy, but let's just get this lined up. Let's go to the chat quickly, see what's going on in the world. I missed a couple up here. Oh, this nutter again. Do you think you will go to paradise, or do you think God is satisfied and pleased with you? LOL. I don't know what the LOL at the end. Being that we're not Islamists, that he's going to be more than happy with us. The joy of being Christian or Jew, isn't it? Is that's being a good person. If an Islamist, then no. Islamists, they go downwards. They're in hell. Remove mosques, deport most immigrants. That's basically it, mate. Bang on. I'd remove mosques. I'd ban mosques. I'd be like, nope, every single one's going to go. Get rid of Sharia law. Any Sharia courts. In 1982, the UK said, "Oh yeah, we'll have a Sharia court or Sharia law." And like as soon as you allow a Sharia court in 1982, you're literally giving them something. That's it. Oh, you've done that, so we can do it here. You've done that, so we can do it there. And literally, they're the sort of people that give them a millimeter, they take 7 million light years. Do you know what I mean? Like give an inch, take a mile. I mean, they're right on the other thing. Get ban the Quran, because it is literally a book full of hate. Jew hatred, Christian hatred, women hatred, oppression, beat your women, and all this, and marrying a 6-year-old. It's just disgusting. So yeah, and Nikki agrees with you as well. 20 years is now led to Antifa. Yep, I was literally going to say they're brainwashed. It's there. Brainwashed our next generation. Yes. Brainwash their family, including grandparents. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, schools and TV brainwashing. That's basically it. That's what they do, because they got Farfall the mouse. So the kids sit and watch a cartoon. It's all about hating Jews. It's just ridiculous. Muslims hosted you in the 19th century. Before that, you had been killed by Hitler. What are you on about? It's all about death with Islam. Maybe stop posting, because you just talk out your backside. Absolute retard. They not just pumping money into football clubs, they are buying power. They do it at the schools. Notice there's like in Dubai and God knows where, Qatar, they sort of give money to universities in America, and they're like, but you got to teach this or say this or do that with regards to Islam. So, you know, real men see the threat. Yep, definitely. Simp soft men and tolerant women need to need taking from power. Yeah, definitely, because they're just. I mean, how stupid can you be not to understand something but comment on it as if you know something? I mean, that's dangerous. They give it all away to immigrants. Yep. Wonder why we got no money. We need more UTK, Unite the Kingdom marches in every city. Yeah, they do. Tommy has said there will be another UTK march. So I'm sure you'll have like Flower Boy Keir Starmer try and ban it or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Unite the kingdom, and they'll be like, "Oh, they're dividing the kingdom." What? Unite the kingdom? Yep, division. Sort of rubbish Sadiq Khan comes out with, you know, the Muslim mayor of London who does everything to support Ramadan and forgets about St. George's Day. If you're a human being, show the Gaza videos and what Israel is doing there. Don't mislead. The videos are actually Hamas. You need to see the videos of what Hamas done. So this is how deluded you really are. We can all come up with rubbish, but how about the facts that Hamas were out with GoPros, etc., and they filmed it, literally everything they done, because obviously they hate Jews. So if you're a human being, denounce Islam because it is a satanic, paedophile, warlord cult that needs to be banned. Let's see the videos of what Hamas done, shall we? The way they just gone through slaughtering, taking over, was it 251 hostages, murdering 1,200 people in another attempt to genocide the Jews. Absolutely disgraceful. Islam is the problem of this planet, I'm afraid. What else can we do? So there's no misleading. The misleading is you being a Muslim. They're lying. Literally lying. Takia. Yeah, no Pallywood. Let's talk about the Moors or the Saracens, the Turks. Well, no, they need to control the narrative. That's what it's all about, controlling the narrative. I don't really understand where some of these Islamists, Muslims get off the crap they talk, and they want to say all this. You do that, but we did that. Oh, you done that, but we done that, and you're like, oh, no, you didn't. You're lying. You're literally talking out your backside. But imagine, going in trying to literally wipe out people on October the 7th. Bearing in mind, on October the 6th, no one gave two hoots about Palestine. No one cared. Not one person gave two hoots. So, here we go. Another one. Not another one, geese. Geese. Surah 2 geese. Verse 191 geese. There we go, geese. Okay, geese. Surah 2, verse 191 geese. Oh, I'm talking like that. I'll do that with the grandkids. The English translation. And fight them until there is no fitna, i.e. persecution, and until the religion, i.e. worship and practice, is for Allah. But if they cease, then there should be no aggression except against the oppressors. Do you think that's why they kill people for leaving? They're apostate because they're so desperate to keep hold of people. They're like, once you got them, they're like, oh, you can't go, because everyone's going to know we're rubbish. I know history. I know the monsters of the world. Classes on it. You have to educate all of us, mate. When the bits and bobs come up here and there, you'll have to. I'll keep an eye out for you because you can educate all of us. I know some history, but I don't know all of it, and that's what I like about this. Because when I do videos like this, people can say in the comments, like it Suntos is doing with the old Quran verses. It's good to look them up, see what they are, and it's all knowledge. I don't remember everything, admittedly, But you know, the more times it gets said, the more you remember. So yeah, it's good to have people on here that are more knowledgeable, so keep us informed. This literally went up while I was watching one video and Business Australia saw it. The true horror of October the 7th. Tommy Robinson at the Nova Festival Memorial.
So we're here at the Nova Festival. This is a 2-year memorial service because of the previous Jewish holiday on October 7th. Can I ask what your role
is,
what's
mate?
Zaka?
Zaka is a unique organization that deals with unnatural death, not only in Israel, but internationally. After tsunamis, after earthquakes and different situations of mass casualties around the world, we, as people that care for humanity, understanding that it doesn't make difference if you're Jewish or Christian or Muslim, you're God's creation. We come anywhere around the world to take care of giving the dignity to whoever died.
When I understand that, so anyone who's been killed, because there's a massive push to have every dead body and every part of every dead body brought back from Gaza that was taken to Gaza, that's been taken from Israel. Is that what you're part of that?
So let me explain. There's different ways of giving dignity to bodies anywhere around the world. In the Jewish law, it's important to collect every drop of blood and every remain to be able to bring to burial. That's called the Holy of Holiest, of caring for the body itself and the soul. To be able to really to bring the person to his final moments of living their life and burying them, bringing everything to burial, that's the highest of highest.
It's as important to bring a dead body back as it is to bring an alive body for the Jewish community?
For sure. I would say it's even more.
It's even more.
Because for sure, we hope that hostage comes back alive. For sure. But if we have a body that's not buried the proper way, it's a burden for the family, it's a burden for the person that died.
Okay, on October 7th, he participated in the Nova Party in the south, where he was caught up in the brutal terrorist attack. Despite the great danger he faced, he helped the wounded and returned to save others while under heavy fire. Yuri saved Meir and mentions the people he saved, who returned to Israel in the various hostage deals. He was abducted by Hamas terrorists and taken to the Gaza Strip. During his captivity, he maintained a strong spirit, encouraged his fellow captives and strengthened those around him. After 11 months, it was learned that he had been murdered in a tunnel in Gaza. So he lasted for 11 months, so he didn't just get kidnapped. He gives the names of the people he saved, because these people have obviously bear witness testimony to the fact that he was the man that saved them. So after saving them and continuing to try and save people, he was then taken. He's a hero. That young man's a hero. And then he spent 11 months stuck in a tunnel, only to be executed after 11 months. So if you're someone that dealt firsthand with the bodies of the deceased from these attacks, can you enlighten us at all about what had happened to any of these bodies?
There were a lot of bodies. They were in situations that you cannot understand how brutal these bodies were, in situations that we dealt with things that you cannot imagine. Your brain cannot understand how children, elderly, women, what they went through.
Can you give us any of the details of what the women may have gone through, or what their bodies showed evidence of?
I personally dealt, and I spoke about it in the Parliament of England. I spoke about it in the UN, about women's rights, about what I personally dealt with. I came into one of the houses and there was a woman. She was naked. She had nails and different objects in her female organs. There were bodies that were cut brutally that we couldn't understand, and we couldn't identify if it's a man or a woman. This is not something that you see on a daily basis.
As in they'd chopped the genitalia?
Yes.
They'd done so much damage to the genitalia area, you couldn't make out if it was a man or a woman?
Not only that, some of the bodies were chopped to pieces. You couldn't really identify. I'm not talking about houses and places that were hit with grenades. Forget about that situation. I'm talking about coming into a house.
Hand
Yeah, hand grenades.
So you're
Now-
talking about coming
about-
into a hand and butchering someone with your hands.
Exactly. I'm talking about coming into a house of a woman that she's a Holocaust survivor. After going through the Holocaust, surviving and coming to live in Israel, living on a beautiful kibbutz with her grandchildren and family, and then being butchered in her own bed. And when you come into the house, some houses you came in, you saw bullets, you saw different ammunition that was used. Over here, we came into a room. There was a hospital bed. A woman that was connected to machines couldn't even do anything to anyone in her life. And she was laying there butchered with knives, hammers, screwdrivers, things that you cannot understand. This is not a normal situation of brutality. What people went through over here, it's unbelievable. Coming.
Blimey, can you imagine that though? Some of that stuff he's saying, it's absolutely awful. But free Palestine doesn't exist, sorry. Nowhere exists called Palestine. Even like, you know, if Palestine doesn't exist, then there can't be anything as a Palestinian either. Tony, greetings. Islam the ham is being used by Masons to collapse democracy and also bring about the new world lockdown. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, mate. Free bacon rolls, way. Keep fighting for the English people. Yeah, I mean, where would we be without people like Tommy who does what he does and has done for decades? I mean, we can all be inspired and do our bit, but you know, bacon, yum. Ooh, a grift channel. Well, Lee, get rid of that flag because obviously you can't be British talking crap. What do you mean by grift channel? How does that work? Have you not seen my channel? Everything that I talk about, the news, here, there, and everywhere. What you on about? Someone doesn't know what the word grift means and just put it up for a bit of attention. Well done. Hamas is a reaction to what happened before. Oh, here we go. One of those idiots. Shut up, mate. You're just talking idiot. You're just talking out your backside. And not one of them. What an absolute retard. No one ever in the history of this planet who's been a hostage of Hamas, thank Hamas. Are you stupid? Are you absolutely retarded? Wow. I think the best part of you went down inside of your mum's leg. What planet are you on? We got a PDF supporter talking absolute rubbish. Who has ever thanked Hamas for what they've done? Have you not listened to what this bloke said? What they've done to the genitals of females and literally hacking people to death. And you're telling me that even that bloke, Ori, his name was, 11 months in the tunnels and then they executed him. What, did he say thank you to Hamas, did he? You absolute bellend. What a absolute, oh my God. Make them see what we see. Educate your children. That's it. You have to. I fully agree with you. We should stand up for the Jews in our country from West Ham fan. Definitely. Yep. But, you know, I don't know why people won't. Because of the propaganda from Islam. We got idiots saying like people actually thank Hamas. Oh, thanks for having me as captive for two years, starving me to death, for filming me digging my own grave where I look so skinny. You do realise these people, the hostages, there's reports saying they got to learn how to eat again in order for their body to eat because they've been starved for that long. Did they say thanks? Did they, mate? Did they? You absolute muppet. Nobody is thanking Hamas. Exactly, business. Business, you got the spanner. You're a mod. So if he comes out with rubbish like that, you can easily ban him if you wish. Have you heard of Stockholm Syndrome? Also, what it's matter how they was kept, it was hell regardless. Yeah, basically, yeah, because of Stockholm syndrome, yes. It's just, I mean, from what the hostages have been saying, it's absolutely pure evil. I mean, I'm surprised they survived. I'm glad they did, but I am surprised that a lot of hostages survived as long as they did. It's absolutely awful. And can you imagine someone saying it? And all of them thank Hamas. What a retard. No one's thanked Hamas ever. The only people cheering for Hamas are Palestinians and idiots like you because you've got an IQ below 10. You want to be careful, mate. You're literally living on the same sort of par as a goldfish. And that's an insult to goldfish. We're literally listening to this video now. And they're telling us about it. And you're like, yeah, but they thanked Hamas. No, they never, retard. No, they never. Yeah, Antifa are everywhere. I don't know what's going on with all this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I know you meant Antifa. But yeah, yeah, it's everywhere. But I think Strawberry Atheist is right with the Stockholm syndrome. I mean, that's going to be quite prevalent, I expect. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Now she said it. Well, I didn't think of that before. But yeah, hell on earth. Absolutely hell on earth. But no, they all thanked Hamas, said some Islam paedophile support.
To feel a beautiful place after a festival, after seeing young generations having the best time of life, dancing in this beautiful place, in a beautiful environment, and then seeing them laying bodies and bodies and bodies all over.
Oz was murdered, sanctifying God's name on the Nova Music Festival at the morning, together with his beloved partner, him and his missus, of blessed memory by Kill Terrorists in a place where they came only to celebrate. So you love to travel. You're absolutely, that's just look, just young men, but he's here with his missus just having a party.
Awful.
To be hunted down. Everyone.
It's times like this you just lose all faith in the human race, isn't it? Because of people like this. It's just ridiculous.
One of them.
Evil, barbaric.
With 3 older siblings. She was a beautiful blonde girl with huge heart that only could be. It just brings it home when you read about their personalities, doesn't it? In the army, she served in the air defence as a combat soldier. Later, she completed a commander course and took on various instructional roles. For a big post-military trip, she travelled alone. Powerful experience. And so she decided to study eyebrow design and work in the field before pursuing higher education. Tara was a free and happy spirit. These were all just butchered and murdered jihadists who were then celebrated on the streets of our capital city week in, week out. And defended, and they're actually defended. There's the deputy leader of the Green Party, the Muslim lad in the UK, called them defence fighters. Defence fighters. We've just walked through a kibbutz full of families and children. There's no defence fighting here. There's bloodthirsty jihadists. One was born throughout her child, and these are all write-ups from their mums and dads. Oh God! Brings home the scale of the devastation to the people of Israel. Look.
Here was all set up. So these things inside, these are set up when the rockets are coming. You come and you hide inside there. So let's walk inside there.
So they're the bomb shelters.
All of these places people were started, and these are all messages.
Oh, there's footage. There's footage on the video where they're in somewhere like this.
Of course, it could be.
See where they're all hiding. There's been a lot of talk about the fact that many of these attacks didn't happen in the way they happened. There's been a lot of accusations, just so the public are underwear. The Kenyan shopping mall massacre. They butchered, they tortured, they took the fingertips off, they tortured one by one. The Black Clan Theatre, most of these terrorist attacks, they chopped the genitals off, they gouged the eyes out. That is part, which we understand, if anyone understands, is part of striking fear into the heart of the disbeliever, which is why many of these people are massacred. And they usually line each other up to watch these sorts of horrific, but it's good to actually meet a witness who actually witnessed what had happened to some of these bodies. As he said, women who had nails and screwdrivers and knives stuck in their genitalia, stuck in their vaginas, raped. The same happened at the Black Camp Theatre. They raped women with knives.
Yeah, these are things that happened over here also in the Nova itself. We had women that were tied to trees.
Yeah, explain that to me, because so in the Nova Festival where we are now.
And this is the area with the...
That's funny. Yeah, done a whip round. Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's quite hard hitting, isn't it? That's a lot of people. Sort of brings it home, and all had lives, all had stories, all had a history, all had a past, been suddenly robbed of their futures. Raju, God, people of Israel, I love you so much, Israel. Yeah. We're not going to show Gaza videos because they're too gory. We don't want to really be showing Hamas and Palestinians going around slaughtering people and doing what they literally just said on screen about like abusing them and basically just butchering them and that. We can't really be showing the Gaza videos like that, I'm afraid. So no, we won't be showing any of the Islamic terrorism that was done on the day. They did the same before the Crusades. I don't know what that means there. Right, let's get back to the video. We've still got another couple of minutes left. What, 5 minutes?
The party was, but everyone was running away out into the fields. Some of them were found behind over here where the trees are. There were women tied to trees, legs spread open, and blood was just oozing out, and then they were shot in the heads. Now you can see, according to all the ballistics and situations after they got killed, what the situation was. They were raped alive. All these situations, all these things, according to all the evidence of what happened from testimony, not only the testimonies of the survivors that were hiding around, but the situation of checking all the situation, what happened on the scene. You see it from live, that everything was happening over here. Is unbelievable, things that you can't imagine. Your brain goes crazy, but by understanding what happened.
I've just watched a video showing some of it, people's heads being hacked off with blunt objects. Aidan, just look how many young lives were just butchered. Again, young children, many of these, enjoying music, partying, prime of their life, celebrating, and then also think about their parents at home as this is developing. They know their children have gone to the Nova Music Festival, and then they're seeing this developing. Hamas coming in, they're seeing it all on the news. No one can get hold of their kids. Think about what all of these people have gone through. Look at how many. Look at the numbers.
Ridiculous.
And this is where the stage was, which on the video which we've just watched, you see them come in where the first responders are coming to see if anyone's still alive, and it's just dead bodies everywhere. I mean everywhere. It's just dead bodies everywhere. They've just been massacred as we're all trying to hide.
My cousin, he was here in the Nova, and his dad, he texted him and he said, "Dad, I'm scared. Please come, please come, please come." And he didn't blink twice. Straight away he came, and he's a hero. His name is Sivan of Neri, and the son that was here is Tal of Neri.
They survived?
Yeah, they survived. Baruch Hashem.
They're lucky, because look how many didn't.
And it's goosebumps. It's tragic.
Many of them ran that way for some way lived, and for that reason they didn't. There were different forests. There are different forests here you can hide inside of.
I'd say they're hunted down like animals, and if you watch the video, they weren't just hunted down like animals, they were called animals, because as the Hamas jihadists were shooting them, they were saying, you dogs, we're getting the dogs, and they were chasing them all. And then they were laying their hands over their heads and they're just boom, 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 you dogs, and they're spitting at them. They continue calling them dogs, Jewish dogs, Jewish dogs. Here we've got the women, and then boom, 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 they're massacring them. People have to see, you have to see that video. Am I right that still now in Gaza, which is just in that direction there, some of the bodies of Jewish families are still being held?
19 bodies.
There's still 19 bodies.
Yes.
And majority of them female?
The last female kid just came back last night.
19 bodies left, so you can understand how important it is when you understand it's part of Jewish religion. They need every part of the body back. They need the blood back. They need the whole remains back. So do you have confidence that all of those 19 bodies will be returned?
Well, it's already now, I think it's 39 years for Ron Arad.
It's what?
Ron Arad. Ron Arad was a pilot. That exactly today is 39 years.
And they've never got his body back?
Never got his body back. And the families are in situations of not really knowing what could happen. And that's a fear from every mother, every father, every child, that they're never going to have a place to come, to mourn, to pray, to connect to. Understanding that you don't have a place to finish this horrific circle of not knowing what happened to them.
I wish you luck in getting all the remains back to the people of Israel.
We really appreciate you coming to Israel and giving our support. We really appreciate what you're doing for us, for the Jewish community.
No, thank you very much.
Well, shocking. What can we say? There's no words. There's no words, but at least everyone with a heart who's human stands with Israel, stands with the Jews. And we have to stand and fight against Islam and Islamic terrorism. That's all we can do. But probably 100,000 jihads in the UK, maybe more, all welcomed by Muslims and hidden in their mosques. Yep. You've got all the illegals coming in. There'll be sleeper cells everywhere. Honestly, ready to just, like, they could destroy the UK from the inside out. All these wars defending the borders. Now they've worked out how they can just come in here, sit around and wait for the phone call, and then boom, the sleeper cell becomes active. I mean, don't get it. Yeah, we need Tommy to be doing things like this because no one else is. No one else is winning, which is a bit strange. But yeah, shocking. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, it is, Tony. It sort of takes you back and you're on your back foot a bit. You're like, whoa, do you know what I mean? It's just makes it real, or even more real, because you're talking like a couple of years ago now, 2 years ago. Like, where did that time go? And all this time, all these people have been there suffering, and then we still got idiots that say, like, they actually thank Hamas when they get released and that. I mean, it's pathetic. And people make excuses for it. Literally, the man's just said exactly how barbaric they were to people's bodies when they were alive and dead. It's barbaric, horrific. There's words, but it's still done. I mean, these were living people, innocent people, all just for being Jewish. That's why we need Tommy Robinson to get the word out. I mean, I try, but I mean, that's 730 people in and out watching the video or whatever, but I just do a little bit. But Tommy's got the numbers. He can really, really spread the word. But I'm not going to stop. Do you know what I mean? I'm not in this for the money, obviously, because I'll be skint. But it needs to be said. It has to be said. And how anyone is in any way other than supporting the Jews, then I think that they're the ones with the problems, personally. But yeah. But that's all I say. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably aim for around 2 o'clock again, I expect. See what's going on in the world and everything. So keep an eye open. So from 2 o'clock, get you in the chat again and see what's going on in the news and whatnot. And I'll see if Tommy's like done anything else in Israel. I'll keep an eye on that and wait for a few videos of his to be, you know, make sure they've been up for a day doing his thing, and then I'll do another video like this so we can all sit and take it all in properly and have a little chat about it. But Yeah, just takes it out of you, things like that. Makes it even more real than what it is, because it's just there in the back of your head, whatever. But then when you see that, and it's like, so it gets smacked in the face by Mike Tyson, isn't it? But anyway, I shall. Yeah, I don't get it. They're not protests, they're hate marches. They should be banned as hate marches. So, exactly that, Nikki. Yes. Cheers to every single one of all of you in chat. It's been a pleasure. I will be back tomorrow. It's supposed to be sort of 4 o'clock, but I'm probably going to do 2 o'clock again. So, but oh, it's Friday, isn't it? Is it Friday? Yeah. Yes, I will. I'll be live at 7 p.m. tonight. Probably talk more about the football stuff, see what's going on in that, and see what other news is going on. So yes, 7 o'clock tonight. Sorry, there's forgetting. Oh, because it's Saturday tomorrow, isn't it? I've lost my days. So 3 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry, 3 o'clock tomorrow, but 7 o'clock tonight. And if you want to come up and have your say, you're more than welcome to. I'll put a link up, and you click on that. You can come up. You can have your say. We talk about anything and everything that's going on in the world at the moment. Whatever floats your boat. I'll get the thumbnail up shortly, so keep your eye out and then click the notification to make sure you get told when I'm going live, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, that'll be tonight at 7 p.m. So thank you everyone for watching. Please smash that like button, and if you wish, you may subscribe. It's all free of charge. Can't knock a freebie. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Wizard's words.